Welcome back. We are going to talk about a knife I did a video on about a year ago. A different version, different model. This is a Gen 4 Koenig Arius. And I did the one that my brother owns. About a year ago, he lent it up to me, which was super cool. And was actually my first time handling one. And this is now my second time, kind of. I've had this for a couple of weeks now. I got this in a trade deal. Was like kind of a third trade. I traded one knife that wasn't selling for something, and then I went to sell that and ended up trading for this. So I think I came out pretty good from the initial trade till this. And let's just talk about this. The packaging, first off, is super great. Here's a particular number. These are made in Boise, Idaho, which is super cool because I may actually have to travel to Boise, Idaho for my regular job at some point, and maybe I can swing by there and see these guys while I'm there. Here's a little bit of information about it, the date. So this is basically brand new when I got it. Comes a little sticker, a cleaning cloth, and just some foam in here. So it's actually rather larger box than needs to be, but it is a cool packaging. And you know, I am not all about the packaging, but packaging is important. And if you don't think so, let me know why down below. I know I have some friends, they take this and they literally just toss it in trash. And then they just keep this. Who wants to store all their boxes? Me, I store all my boxes. Most of my knife boxes are in a plastic tub over here to the right-hand side and some shelving units that I have in the closet. And all of my watch packaging and boxes are in plastic bins in the garage up on shelves there. So I store all of my stuff. So whenever I sell a knife or a watch, 9.5 times out of 10, I have all the packaging that came with it new. And I include all of that when I sell it to the next owner. Now, if I bought something used and I only got the knife, well, then I'll advertise it that way and you'll get what you get. And I'll price it accordingly. I think if you have the entire full kit, if you will, I think that requires, or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I think you expect more you expect a higher value if you have everything with it. Is it like $50 for the box? Is it $100 for the box? Is it $10 for the box? I don't have that answer. But when you have it all together, I think you have premium product. Anyway, let's let's talk about this knife and my thoughts and feelings on it. We'll come back to the specs. Okay, it runs on bearings. I'll touch on some of the specs as we go through my thoughts about it. How about that? This is incredibly fidgety, almost too fidgety. Okay, it's very Holt Spectre-ish. And you can see that sometimes you go to close it, and depending on the angle, it may open up again. Okay, and some of those I did on purpose, and some I did not. I can finger flick it, which is super cool. Kind of useless, but okay. And it does thumb, and it's a great flipper. It does really feel good in the hand. I do like the feel in the hand. I love this particular colorway and variation. And let's just zoom in and take a closer look. I mean, it's in great shape. It was literally a week or so old when I did the trade. It just says Koenig on it. That's all the branding and marking there is on the blade. There is the blade steel kind of hidden in there. Just very smooth titanium with blue hardware. Blue backspacer. More blue hardware. And then inside here, if you go to close the blade, Right there, you can see the blade steel is M390. So they kept it super sterile. Now on the Gen 3 version that I had from my brother, this was not there either. So it was even more sterile, which I kind of prefer, but I'm okay with just a little tiny bit of wording. I'm good with. This is a hollow grind. Doubt we'll be able to see it. I don't normally try to show that, but this is a full hollow grind, and they did it really well. Behind the edge measurement, because a couple of viewers mentioned that that was an important number, is 0.022 is behind the edge. The blade thickness overall is 0.154. Then it has a very nice hollow grind down to 0.022. The pocket clip works really well. It's not super deep carry, so there is a fair amount sticking out of your pocket, but it works well, is super comfortable in the pocket, doesn't stick out too far, and I think it works great. Like I said, it's very fidgety. Okay, let's talk about some of the just general specs. 5 inches closed, 8.5 overall, 3.48 inch blade with a 3.37 cutting edge. M390, as I mentioned before, 0.154, as I also mentioned before. Overall thickness is 0.565 minus the clip. And as you can tell by the closing, it does run on bearings. I believe they're ceramic bearings, but I could be wrong on that. Okay. And it weighs in at 4.8 ounces, where your D-cell battery weighs in at 5 ounces. So basically a D-cell battery in your pocket, but it carries better in the pocket than the D-cell battery does. And yes, I carried around a D-cell battery just so I could tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this carries much better than the D-cell battery. I think it's a cool knife. You can choke up on it a little bit if that's a thing for you, but it feels really good in the hand. The swell here just really locks you in, and it just feels so comfortable. You can't feel the pocket clip. It's a nice knife. It really is a nice knife. Is it a keeper? I don't know. And I'll talk about that a little bit as I do some size comparisons here to kind of keep the video somewhat short. The number 2 pencil and the Sharpie. It's a nice knife that is very fidgety, almost too fidgety. So here's with the Spyderco Delica. It's very Holt Spectre-ish on its fidget factor with its super crazy drop shut. The AA battery and the D-cell battery. And the drop shut like that just doesn't really do it for me. Here it is with a P series Hellraiser. Now these are not drop shut, but very controlled shut. Okay? There's a difference. And this one, you got to make sure that your fingers are out of the way because it just falls. Whereas the Hellraiser, it just kind of glides shut. It's a little hard to show and really convey on camera here. What else have I got for a size comparison here? How about the AAA Olight i3T? So I think this is more of a fidget knife, and right this second, I am keeping it because I feel like I should. Because it's kind of an iconic knife. It's super popular, and I think I would maybe feel bad if I traded or sold it. There are some other things that I'm looking to buy. So here it is with the custom Hellraiser, which is basically the same exact size as the P series Hellraiser. But I thought since I have one here, I would do that. And the Sharknivko Ryu which is very similar in the fact that it's all titanium and, satin blade and, whatnot. So it's very kind of just a similar type knife. This one I really love too. And I am absolutely keeping this one just because I've wanted one for so long. I don't know, guys. What do you think about this knife and my confusion in keeping it? I think what that's telling me is that since I can't decide, that I should move it on. But there's a part of me that thinks these are super iconic and desirable, so maybe I should hold on to it, because why do I want to be the guy that just gets rid of some knife that's super desirable just because I don't fall in love with it? I don't know. This one is a little bit of a quandary for me. So for right now, it's going to stay. I don't know that this will survive 2022. And I'm filming this on Christmas Eve. So even though this isn't going to air until after New Year's, I'm going to say Merry Christmas anyway, because, well, it's Christmas Eve right now. It's like 7 o'clock on Christmas Eve, and I am home alone. So I figured I would bust out a video to kind of keep my bank going and whatnot. So let me know your thoughts on the Arius, guys. I think the jury is still out in my mind as to if it's a keeper or not. So let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I hope the new year is treating you fantastic so far. All right? Thanks a lot, guys. We will see you tomorrow.